Hi, hello. I'm here just to do a little mental health check-in with everyone. I know I've done them before, but I do think they're important. But the main reason I am doing it is a few weekends ago, JR, he did attempt suicide by taking many Tylenols. I don't know, it's a whole odd story. I'm not gonna get super deep in it, I don't think. See how I feel, I guess, but I wasn't there when he took them. I was outside. It was a beautiful evening. I was enjoying the dock, as I often do, sit down here. But I guess, I mean, he's been going through it for a while. He's been on stress leave from work, trying to figure things out. I mean, I show you a lot of the projects that we do. Most of them take a while, though. It's like a process, and I show you the end results. But I think doing those projects was a form of his therapy. It's like almost a state of meditation, I guess, when you're doing something you like that. But anyway, I wasn't home, and he had angrily smashed his tablet or his laptop, I think it was his tablet, and hurt his hands, so he just took Tylenols and more and more and more. He'd also smoked some weed before that, which I guess can exacerbate it, and then he'd been doing treatments with a clinic of ketamine therapy. I mean, obviously all with this clinic and like supervised and everything, so that's all safe, but I don't know, he was almost in like a state of psychosis with the things he was saying. And he had visited our massage therapist earlier that night, and she mentioned she thought he was off too. We're good friends, so she had shared with me, I mean, not anything about his treatments, but just how off she thought he was, and that she was debating calling me, that he was acting so differently. But anyway, he had gone to bed early that night. I mean, depression, sometimes you just stay in bed, right? I know that's often his way of dealing with it. I'm actually the opposite. I'll just always be awake, which is interesting. How different we are. Everyone's different. But so he was asleep. I was reading a book when I did eventually come in, and then he got up and came and sat with me and was chatting. But again, it was still kind of this psychosis. Like, things he was saying was he's in the past and I'm a hallucination and stuff like that. And then he was saying he wanted to go to sleep, which I don't know if that means like the final sleep or back to bed, but me being that I was reading and he just got up from sleeping, I thought he meant back to bed. So I was like, oh yeah, go back to bed. Cool. You'll feel better. But then he was saying he was kind of nauseous and he made himself throw up, and then he calls to me, by the way, I took a bunch of Tylenol, just so you know. And I was like, didn't know. Cool. So are you coming with me to the hospital or the ambulance? And he was like, oh no, I threw them all up. You don't have to take me. So I called the ambulance, which it's a good thing I did, because he had not thrown them all up. With the tox report, they were saying he probably took somewhere close to 40 or more. So I really don't think he threw that up. Whatever they had him on, he was pretty much puking all night, he said. I had left because, I mean, the ER and he's puking all night, I was just going to be in the way. When I came back in the morning, they had moved him from the ER, and the nurses told me that they took him to Kirkwood. So I went to find him there, but like to phone them, but their phones aren't open until 9 a.m. It wasn't 9 a.m. yet. Eventually I get through and they say I can come see him. I get there. Visiting hours not until 1, but they check the records and he's not there anyway. So I come back home. Thankfully we don't live too far from these places, but The whole process, I was just, well, exhausted because I don't sleep when I'm worried or stressed or confused or anything like that. I mostly stay awake. So I was exhausted and worried and didn't know what to do. Try phoning through to the hospital, but can't get through to anywhere. Nobody knows where he is. Eventually he gets a hold of me though, which thankfully he finally remembered my phone number. He's awful at that kind of stuff, but that's good. So they had moved him to the cardiac ward to just keep an eye on his vitals from all the Tylenols. But thankfully he has fully healed from that. No side effects or anything, so that's good. He was in there for a night, well, like 2 days and a night. And then they moved him to psych, of course. He was in psych for a few days. But it's been a whole process. Of course, he is out now. He's been out for, I guess, about a week now. Like I said, this happened a while ago. That's why I didn't post anything last week. We were going through a lot, obviously. But the doctor said he does likely have obsessive compulsive personality disorder, but he's to be diagnosed by his own therapist instead of one at the hospital because they would know him better. So he has an appointment to do that. I mean, he's been going to therapy for a while now. I have, and we both have together because, I mean, that's how you grow and get stronger. But, I mean, it's a lot to work out. He was even debating if he had to basically take time from me, like pause our relationship or even just fully break up to try to help fix himself, but decided that it would be better for us to stay together through it, I guess, so I ground him more, and then as we learn about it, which is good. But of course I do want him to get better, so if he thinks he needs a pause to do that, absolutely. If it's about his health, I mean, I want him to be the best he can be, whether it's with or without me. Another thing he was thinking, like, maybe sell our house to get rid of some stress, or hire people to finish it and then we stay in it, or to, like, if we were to break up, he would move, say, to Europe or somewhere further away just to, I guess, be on his own and think about things. But I mean, ultimately, it's a day-by-day thing for sure. Obviously, we're still together right now. We do plan to stay together so far, but I mean, we could both move to Europe or sell the house, move into an apartment, like, things to take stress off, really. Which is the main key, because I mean, if he wants to feel better and heal himself, I mean, that was part of the stress leave from work too. It was becoming overwhelming, so I mean, finding things that help make things less overwhelming, underwhelming, I don't know. Sorry, it's an awkward topic, and I mean, a way for me to deal with it is humor, which, I mean, check out the podcast Ladies and Tangents. They're both very lovely ladies, but it's also like things are awkward and uncomfortable. They joke too. It's actually one of my favorite podcasts. The whole event after what happened, I think I just immersed myself in the podcast to cheer me up, because they always cheer me up. But I mean, that's one of my coping tactics. And I think this is just about finding what is a coping tactic for JR. I mean, yeah, building the stuff does help, but you can't forever do that, and that takes a lot of energy. Listening to a podcast does not. That being said, not all of my coping strategies are easy like that. Like, I enjoy hiking and whatnot, which is more energy, or walking, which is mainly how I listen to the podcast when I'm walking, but it's to find what's right for you. But that's where we are now. He hasn't seen his therapist yet. I think his appointment's next week. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's what's been happening with us, where we've been. And we'll see from there what happens and what we do. But so far, he is healthy and is taking the time to work on himself. And of course, I'm cheerfully supporting him. But yeah, so that's where I was last week, why I didn't post anything. So probably the next few videos will be more low-key. Maybe I'll finally taste test those teas that Linda gave me. I mean, I've tried, well, one of them I had before, and then JR had the hot chocolate one, and I had a sip of it, but I didn't fully, like, have any, I don't know, like a full glass, I mean, so we'll see about that, but of course, I'll keep you guys updated on anything. He is doing better. I do see a difference, I mean, from saying that he possibly has obsessive compulsive personality disorder. It's definitely been a help for us, our relationship, figuring everything out, really. So it's I mean, awful way to get there, but good that we know what's happening. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, this is a beautiful evening. But yeah, keep you guys updated, and anything you want to know, like any questions you have, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay, well, see you later.